Another thing that when I was talking about, how certain things happen after I do certain things, right? This is something else that happens, you know. It happened the other day when I did that other post, because it's usually, all lit up and stuff. So, but this is just like this now, right? Now, last week and the other day it was done but like I said, after I did that post, was yesterday, day before yesterday, whatever, it's been like this now, right? And this is something that I noticed before as well. For like almost a whole year, maybe about a year, it looked just like this. Not all the other things lit up. Even when I had the phone, it was doing this. I, I like to ask questions. When I see things I don't know what's going on, I ask questions. But when I ask questions, people don't have answers. They don't know. So it's like you can't be like, oh, yes, you know. You can't force, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you just let it go. But I noticed this happens. And then when I ask about it, nobody knows, right? So this right here reminds me of when I had the landline. Like I said, it was the $10 plan, right? For the in poverty people, right? Us people. I included myself, the poverty people. Don't think I'm trying to be whatever. But yeah, so it was $10 a month, right? $10 a month. Do you really feel like you stress? Are you really gonna be stressing to let me pay this $10 a month? So no, you'll fucking let the shit get to $30 and you pay it off. Why? Because it's $10. It's not stressful, right? But next thing you know, it's almost like somebody was paying attention to that, right? So now the bill is being paid because when you get the notification, right? Because you get the notification for the bills, you have all your bills. The thing you try to do is have all your bills come via email, right? Because somebody was breaking into your fucking mailbox. Like somebody was breaking into my mailbox, so I decided to get email, right? So I get the emails every month telling me what the bill is, when the bill's due, how much is the bill, whatever. Even when they say, oh, you ain't paid the bill and, paid it, like that too. So next thing, like I said, the bill's getting paid. So because now when I get the bill, I'm seeing negative this, negative that. And when it's a negative, that means you don't owe nothing, right? Negative means that's a balance you have, right? So right now to this day, I got $18 balance. I was talking shit about it, but next month when I get the new bill, we'll see if that's still there, because it's been there for like the longest time now since I disconnected the landline. It's still there, right? So one day I pick up the phone about after 5 o'clock. So I really don't know when it started, but it was like after 5 o'clock. I pick up the phone. There's no dial tone. Phone disconnected. Because I called from the other line. You know what I'm saying? Shit was funny. It's real funny. It was real funny because I got a credit on the bill, so the bill shouldn't, that means the phone's still supposed to be on, right? So I call, and this dude, the dude answered from Optimum. His name was Jude. I've been calling him Judas and Jude Law ever since, right? But his name was Jude because this is what he said his name was. I asked Jude what was going on with the phone, right? And he said, there was an outage in New York. So, that's basically what it was. So I'm like, well, I didn't get a notice saying that there was an outage in New York. Because usually I get a notice. I get an email saying there's an outage. Optimum, we having problems, this, that, and they let you know, right? So he doesn't know why. He doesn't get it. He said it's an outage because he put me on hold. And they did the whole, put you on hold and they go, like they act and trying to find shit out. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they just bullshitting, just to have you on hold so they can fake like they doing something. But he comes back. He says, it's an outage. He doesn't really know why. It wasn't no storm outside. It was like a Friday or some shit, right? Maybe like a Thursday, Friday. Matter of fact, it could have been Friday because this next day, Saturday, I remember calling back. And now I'm speaking to a woman, right? And I explained to her what I said to Jude the day before. I didn't get her name, right? Jude. I explained to her what I said with Jude. I told Jude. So she said first thing she tells me is that she really didn't know what I was talking about because she didn't know of there being an outage. And I said, well, I live in New York. She still said she didn't know of there being an outage. So she put me on hold, and I guess she went to go find out, and she said, she didn't know. And I said, well, the guy said it was an outage, and that to check back after 7, that it was Friday after 7, and for the phone was supposed to be on. So Saturday I call back, the phone is not on. I call from the other line, I say, listen, this is what he said, this is what it was supposed to happen, and the line is still disconnected, the phone is not on. So she don't know what the fuck going on either, right? So I say, you know what? Let's leave the phone off. She was surprised, she didn't really, but I'm like, because at this point I was feeling away, and I don't want to lash out on nobody. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this phone, and we're going to let it go. Because, literally, if I have to call back again, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, people are doing shit to press your buttons, and then when you give them the business, they deserve the business, But then they're on the other end doing fuck shit, Because they know they can. So it's like sometimes you have people who are doing evil because they feel like nobody can stop them, right? So that's why I decided to, let the phone stay off, right? Because it was just weird. Like, what the fuck was that? You can't tell me who's paying my bill, right? Because $10 still my bill, right? And you can't tell me why the fucking outage. Like, she literally did not know that there was an outage, okay? So then I got on the Facebook, right? And I expressed myself on the Facebook, the Nicole Facebook, right? So it's like, when certain things happen, it's like you make these notes, these mental notes and these physical notes, on paper and stuff like that, because the mental note has to go to paper. But it's like, it's a lot of unnecessary nonsense. And then it's like, you're wondering what is going on. Why is this happening, And what it's giving. Because as a tenant, a resident, I should be treated with respect. Just the same way they want to be treated with respect by where they live at. But it's like kind of different, When you're not employed, it's different. And when you are employed, it's different, but it's the same shit. But now you're working and you have people who are above you, and some of them, it really goes to their head. They're not down to earth. They're not fucking earth angels at all, But they're in charge, nonetheless. And you can't just fire people, right? You can't just get people out the office. You can't, he's doing a fucked up job, we get him out. And it don't work like that, Because even with this guy here, I see, get him out. And then they talking about the governor. She need to do this. Listen, there's protocols, there's procedures. Can somebody just fire you from your job like that? If somebody sees you and they say you ain't doing your fucking job, can they just fucking, I want him out of here? Can they do that? Or do they have to go through different channels and a procedure to prove that your ass needs to be fired to ensure that they don't get fucking sued? Like, that's why I say sometimes when I see shit, I don't really believe that these are real constituents who are really, I think it's bullshit. Like, opposition, competitors, they want to make the person in office look bad, yeah. But when you come with that tangible paperwork, it's crazy, It's crazy. When you see all your people stepping away from you, it's crazy. People who will probably hunky-dory about the shit, but now they gotta jump ship. It makes you wonder, what were these people into? Because what happened to loyalty, right? It's easy to say face, and try to be stern and stand strong. But we know when people are suffering in silence. They say certain shit. Like, they say certain shit and they do certain shit. It's when they start snipping, cutting people off. And then you cutting people off, or people are leaving you. And then it's like the ones you're not cutting off are leaving you. And the ones that ain't leaving you, you cutting them short. That shit's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I pick and choose my loyalty. I pick and choose my battles. I don't just blind loyalty shit. I pay attention. You know? Everybody wants to benefit, right? How can I benefit from you being in the position that you in? I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Are you doing what you're supposed to do? You know? It's crazy. I see people really like out here buying houses and look at talk about the economy the way it is, inflation, like shit is just now, you know, a little change. But when you look at the bigger picture, it's like that should only affecting a certain amount of people. Other people's networking their way to wealth. That creates a fucking imbalance. Like, these fucking Section 8 vouchers is blowing my mind. Like, it's really blowing my mind. You know? Because where are they? What happened? How is it that you shut that down? Then you start something else new, and then you shut that down. And then the people who should kind of be in charge or should have a say in it, you don't want them to have a say. And these are the people that are directly connected, that are in contact with the people you're supposed to be fucking helping. And these are the people that you don't want their input. Like, the people, you don't want the input from people that need the help. And you damn sure don't want the input from the people who are trying to help them network their way to help. That's just crazy to me. It's really fucking crazy. And then they stand there and then it's like, wow, you know, at the highest level, almost at the highest level, not that quite the highest level, but higher than you and me. So that's like, it's gonna be highest anyway. I mean, shit, you know, I ain't been on a fucking vacation since 2016. Matter of fact, 2016 I went to Florida, and then 2018 I went back to Florida to take my son on a vacation, you know, because the whole time I worked, I only went on one fucking vacation. And that vacation, I really fucking needed that shit. It was crazy. You know? And they act like I didn't deserve that shit. You know? But, you know, everybody else gets to travel the country and go all over the world, you know, networking, pimping all over the world, you know, shit like that, you know? You know, it causes animosity, you know? It does. It really does. Because it's like, damn, you're fucking greedy, you know? Damn, you're not satisfied with your position. And yes, I know that people will look at me, the same people I'm probably talking about, you know, indirectly, adjacently, whatever the fuck. Probably saying the same shit about me. But for the difference is, they'll make moves to humble me, you know. They'll make moves to rattle my cage type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they can, right? Because they're in a position higher above me, right? A position of authority. But are they abusing that authority? You know? You got to think about this shit. Like, you have to look at things on a little level, because it's like what people get away with low key, it's like they look for ways to get away with it high key. If I could do it to the little guy, if I tweak this right, maybe I'd give me a big fish. You know? Maybe I catch me a whale. You know? Shamu. It's just, you know, you gotta laugh, you gotta find the funny, you know, because if you don't, you know, it's just better to not even think about it if you don't, you know. But when you try to speak out, you know, and you go ignored, that's like one of the main ingredients for a hot nigga pie that you're not gonna want to eat. That you're not gonna want to even sit next to. You're not even gonna want it in your presence, you know. You don't want the stench of that smell. You know, like, fucking people is crazy though. It is fucking crazy. It's crazy. It's like the audacity, you know. Never would I have thought in a million years that I would be living here first and foremost. Not as a little girl, I never thought, you know. And then to top it off, the insult to the injury is to everything that I'm dealing with right now. I would have never thought, you know. They said I hold grudges and shit like that, but I could beg to differ, you know. Because, like, what the fuck is this going on here? Like, you know, Because again, of all people to try to do this shit to, why would you try to do it to me? Why would you try to do this to me if you didn't really think you could, right? If someone who didn't know me came to you, or someone who thought they know me, I should say that, came to you and say, yeah, we could get her, you know? Or you pick a person and you do their little research on them, and then you want to go talk to people that knew them, you know? Because the last time I was in that fucking property management office, you know, to sign the lease and shit like that, for the last time I was in there talking to the other housing assistant, not the one that's now, she pulled my file and that shit was thicker than a motherfucker. And I'm like, yo, what is that? She said, oh, that's just paperwork. But to me, in my mind, I'm like, paperwork, bitch, what the fuck is that? Why we got all them documents in that folder? But they not going to show you that, right? You ain't going to be able to get that information, right? Only thing you can see is what's on the lease on the computer, right? The options they give you there, your Section 8, to check that out, review it, whatever, right? See what's going on, whether it's pending or whatever they saying it's going, you know? Everything except what you should be seeing. You know, the shit that was in the file in the office. Because the file that's in the office is not a part of the files that they allow you to see online. Okay? So, my shit was thick. And when I tell you the shit was thick, like that. Thicker than that. The shit was thicker than that. Okay? The folder was thick as fuck. I'm like, yo, why this fucking folder so thick? And now it's kind of, see, clearly now the rain is gone, right? You can see all the obstacles in your way. It's a bright sunny day out there too. But yeah, like that file was mad thick. And to me, it's like, I worked here for 5 years. Like literally, I never brought no documents in there for them to have a file that thick. You know? The only thing that should be in there is my lease renewals. I've been here like since 2010. What is the extra paperwork in the file? You know? Because I did everything on the computer. Like, I stopped, you know, I didn't have no reason to bring nothing to them, you know? The only thing I brought to them was information on public assistance when I moved here. After that, when I started working here, I did everything through the computer, everything online. They automatically took the rent out of my check. I ain't had no reason to deal with the property management. You know? I ain't had no reason to take my documents over there. Because they already knew what I was making. They take the rent out of my check before the fucking IRS get the rent, get the money that they take. And then I get the balance of my check. Like, so what the fuck is all the paperwork for? You know? And then when you should be notifying somebody of changes, like a change to the Section 8, like if you had a Section 8 case manager to begin with, why did no one ever tell me that? Why did I not get a letter saying, this is your Section 8 information, this is your Section 8 case manager? And then if the person changes, an updated fucking letter. But I ain't got a letter or nothing, hear nothing about Section 8 until I spoke with them people. Right? Was that last year? And now here, a couple of months ago, they said they was opening that Section 8 list back up, and that people should be expecting a letter in the mail about it. I ain't seen no fucking letter. I ain't see shit. You know? And then you go looking, asking questions, you can't get no answers to questions. Why? Because who you gonna ask? You know what they're gonna tell you? Oh, I don't know, or I don't have access to that information. You know, but they got access to something though, right? It's crazy. The same people who will say that they don't have access to certain information is the same one acting like authority figures over you. And it's like, if you don't have, if you can't, like, you know, it's a certain level of responsibility and power that comes with being an authority figure. When you're an authority figure, you don't have to ask. You know, you might be able to go directly to whoever or whatever and say, I need to access such and such. And that person, word of mouth, okay, shoot you an email, okay, you know? If you're not an authority figure, you have to get permission. You have to wait. You have to, get shit verified. Like, it's not just, you can probably shoot emails between each other. But when it comes to going up the chain of command, it ain't going to be that simple for you to just shoot an email and say, hey, whatever. No, you're going to have to follow the protocol. But when you have people who are like the cat's away, the mice will play, ain't nobody really supervising, or the supervisors are just as bad as, the supervisors train the workers. So if you got funny fugazi workers, you better look at the supervisors. It's the same way they say, blame the mother if the child don't act right, right? Blame the parents, right? Children emulate the parents, right? Workers emulate supervision, right? Because supervision is training them, instructing them, advising them, consulting them on how to be an employee, on how to do the work. So I don't really get it, And me as a customer, a resident, a tenant, I'm still a customer, There's a level of respect that should be there, The energies are going to be matched. If you get on the phone acting like you mad condescending and you're better than the person that you're supposed to be assisting, that's a problem. When your attitude is, you need to be humble because I got your whole life in my hands, right? That's a problem. When you start making moves outside of the agency, that's a problem. Like, because I'm be fucking real. If you working for an agency that's in a certain state, your workers should not be calling your clients or your customers from a cell phone that's listed in another state. Shout out to Raquel. This shit needs to stop. I do my research. Like when I say I do my research, I do my fucking research. Atlanta. Phone number and place. Because if my Facebook research was correct, Shorty got a husband, she got kids, and she lives somewhere in fucking Atlanta. Or maybe she, rendezvous up here or whatever the fuck. Or maybe she goes down there to visit her family and she works up here, but her cell phone still says Atlanta, Georgia. You need to fix that. This is why I said that pandemic shit, they got buck wild. 2020, that's when it started. They started getting buck wild. That's why I was on TikTok doing my little monologues talking about, we don't need to be working from home. Because that's where the shit starts. That work at home shit, And that's not for all people who work at home. That's for people who work for government agencies or agencies where people, have to deal with social security numbers and people's personal identifications. If you work in these type of jobs, no, you don't need to be working from home. You don't need to have no workplace computer in your fucking home. You know why? Because one day you're chilling, right? You got the work computer in the home, you chilling, right? You got your peoples coming over, y'all chilling. Y'all could possibly be talking about whoever, right? Because, it seems like people, when they start drinking and partying, they start, a whole nother you takes over, right? And then you start doing diabolical and evil twin shit, right? But I'm just saying a typical scenario, And I would give a lot of those over there on TikTok, on La Prima. I would give a lot of those, Like I said, one day maybe I'll open the shit up. But right now, it's not really relevant, It'd be a distraction, Because I see how people try to take shit and remix shit. I wouldn't be surprised if the other things that I posted, someone took it and tried to remix it or whatever. Or I wouldn't even be surprised if one person came, recorded the shit, or even like on TikTok, which record the shit and then take it back, Because even on there, I didn't follow nobody. I didn't let nobody follow me, but I was just out there, right? And I would notice that I would post and I'm getting reported. And I'm like, yo, I'm not even fucking saying anything. I'm not even showing my face. I'm not talking. I'm just, spirit walking down the timeline, right? Spirit walking down the timeline. That's what I'm going to call it. That's when you just scrolling. It's not doom scrolling, but you're just scrolling, you're recording while you're scrolling. And then after you stop, you play it back and it's like funny, it's like funny. It's like it's like cute little funny messages, not for each one, but it's like, you just have to do it, Matter of fact, on Beyonce's album, the jukebox track, what I'm saying? I can't remember right now, but it's like that, how she's changing the station, and, and you have to listen to the album and see what I'm talking about so you can understand what I'm saying here. But it's like that. These are other people's words, other people's shit, right? All I'm doing is scrolling and recording it and making content that way. I was getting reported. And didn't even make sense, So then I realized that, I did the little research on that too. And I realized, I stopped and checked, because now I'm, clocking numbers, right? And I realized it only took like about 100 and something people. Like if you got 100 and something people to report your page is getting reported. Like maybe 10 people, nothing. Maybe 5 people, nothing. But the more people come together to report, and if they're saying the same thing, that particular post will be flagged. And this kept happening. I'm like, whoa, okay. I even posted something else, because I had seen something, and I respond to things online. I don't be, I know some people think, oh, this bitch watched my thing and now she talking about, no, I be all over. I be in the internet streets. I be in the cyberspace. So I see certain things, I read, and then I respond. That's my content. Me responding to things that I've read, maybe my style of doing it, is peculiar because you don't know who I'm talking about. But if you are current with your events, you will know who the fuck I'm talking about, whether I leave a key hint word or not, But that's what I do, right? And I was getting reported. So like I said, I even did another thing where I seen a chick, same type of thing I did. And I seen the chick and I reposted it, and I just had my little caption on top of it, like, because, the chick, first of all, the chick reminded me from Meadow from The Sopranos. So I was like, okay, cool. But then when she started talking, I was like, oh, no, this not Meadow, right? But what happened was, she was dating somebody, right? And the dude cheated on her. So she called up trying to be revengeful, and she exposed the chick, and then she did some shit to the dude's stuff. My thing was, let's just be real. Let's just be honest. That shit was tacky as hell, and it didn't make anybody look good. It didn't make, it made everybody look bad, I don't know if she thought she was looking like a victim or, I don't know what she thought, but it came off like she was bitter. And, regardless to what the fuck they was doing, she came off as bitter and vindictive, That's how the nevers become the evers, doing shit like that. So yeah, they were probably in the wrong. But you trying to put her on blast, that was dead wrong. And whatever you did to his shit, that was dead wrong too. Because now you kind of putting people in danger because you don't know who's watching what. You don't know what type of mentality these people have. Everybody had Toxic Avenger and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I said something about that shit, and I, but don't you know that shit started getting reported too? But it wasn't really getting reported. It got reported, but they was doing some slick shit. Like, that was like literally way down deep in the gumbo of that fucking page, right? These mofos scrolled all the way down. Like, this is how I know niggas was putting in work, right? This is how I know niggas was putting in work. They scroll all the way down, right? And they would like that post. And it kept happening. And I'm like, that's crazy. Nobody really scrolls all the way down people's page like that to like a particular post, right? Because it was just this particular post that was getting liked. Nobody likes none of other shit. But this particular post was getting liked. Red flag, right? So I said, repost that shit since they like it so much. So I reposted it. Report, flag. The shit was like, they was maybe like 2 or 3 times, and I was just having fun. Because at that point, I ain't, fuck your flags, you know what I'm saying? And it would get flagged, you know what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes people would flag me so much that I don't know if maybe the people who watch, I'm sure the computer takes the notification for the flagging, whatever, and then it flags you, puts you on pause, and then I feel like maybe someone actually has to come and unpause your ass, right? So that shit would happen on Facebook too. It happened so much that the people would actually ask me questions, like when I came with the Orzanical. Someone actually asked, because somebody reported the name, right? They niggas didn't want me to be great. Yo, these niggas would not let me live. Can I live? No, bitch. Right? So, like with the Orzanical, they report this shit. I even had someone come and ask me, like, where I got the name from. And I was just like, rice plant, oracle, Nicole, and I'm like a Zanny, you know? So it was what it was. And they switched it from, because I had Orzanico Sativa Rice, and then they took off the Sativa, respelled the way I had Orzanico spelled, because I had it with a Y, and then they put the last name. Fast forward, this is the Facebook page that somehow I was brought back into, you know, because I didn't come back to it. I was kind of invited and brought back and led to it, kind of like what God does, but God doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? This is why, you know, discernment is key, because people will think you're that dumb and that, oh, this bitch, God, oh, we're gonna show her God, and then they do stuff and it's like you're supposed to think, oh, this must be God. No, it is not God. You know, the Lord works in mysterious ways, not petty, not fraudulent, mysterious. Okay, it's a mystery, but it's all legal. You know, like a mill, all money is legal. But yeah, they do that shit, you know, and I will always get reported, and I'm not really saying nothing, or I'm not saying nothing no worse than nobody else. That's why I start with the writing, and I just stick to the writing, because keep it cute, because, I mean, I'm not really saying nothing, but obviously it's something, right? So I just said, you know what, we're going to write it, we're going to keep it cute, and we're going to learn how to say things in a nice way. Even if it's stuff that they don't want to hear, we have to learn how to say it in a nice way, because when you don't say certain things, people play dumb, and then they, oh, I didn't know, you know? Like, when you tell somebody something private, you actually have to say to this person, don't tell nobody. Otherwise, they're going to go run their mouth and say, oh, well, I didn't know. You didn't want me to tell nobody. Well, common sense, bitch. If I wanted everybody to know, you wouldn't have been the only one present. I'd have waited for a fucking audience. But like I said, you know, that's what it's giving. Like, people really don't want me to be great. You know what I'm saying? And it really does feel like people been stalking me on fucking line. Like, you know, even when I was working, a supervisor comes show me my fucking, pull up his phone, show me my Facebook page, talking about, is that you? The fuck you think? You know what I'm saying? Like, this right here is how I realized that some of the people that I worked with could possibly know some of the people that I, you know, converse with online. In the Facebook groups, you know? And actually, one person did. It was a dude, and he wasn't there when I worked there, but he ended up working at Throsneck after I had already left. And I think I was in Bronx River at the time. Not Bronx River, I'm sorry. I was in Highbridge at the time, you know? And I met this dude online in one of the Facebook groups, and coincidentally, you know, I find out he working where I used to work, and he know the storeroom agent that I knew when I was working there. Small world, after all, you know? It's crazy. Or even how the chick that I was cool with, that I used to work with her, you know, and I stopped because I peeped the bullshit she was trying to do behind my back. Same shit with her. Come to find out, her son had a baby with this chick who used to date my son's father's little cousin, right? And it was crazy because I was at work and she was mentioning her name and shit, and I was like, what? I said, yeah, that sounds familiar, because it's literally, she's the only person I've ever known to have that name. And I actually met this girl in person, you know what I'm saying? She's a woman now, I'm calling her a girl because, you know, back then, she was younger, teenager, when she was dating my son's father's little cousin, right? Come to find out, she went and had a baby. And it's crazy how all things connect, right? Oh, here's another thing, another connection. I'm working in Throsneck. I find out my son's father, here we go again, right? My son's father's cousin had a baby with this chick, right? 3 kids, actually, right? Her sister had a baby with a dude who had the same first name as my son's father, who lived in that building that I was talking about that belonged to the chick. And when she didn't come to work that day, they sent me in her building to clean her building. And, you know, it looked all good on the outside, but then when I went in, it started sweeping the building. It was like a fucking sandstorm. You know what I'm saying? That was that building, you know? There's another connection there, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I wasn't really cool with these people, you know? They didn't really like me, you know? Invite you to the cookout, but don't really want you there. You know what I'm saying? Like, or invite you to the cookout knowing that people don't really like newcomers or new faces, but you just want to make this person come with you so you can feel like you're better, because this person is technically homeless, living in your house, and now you want to look like the better woman, the bigger woman. The boss bitch, right? Same person actually who I did childcare for, and when the shit was done, she was like, because I was working doing childcare and the state pay you, right? That's what I was doing back then, right? I wonder if anybody do that research, right? Westchester County shit. So she said, when they gave you the money, because you had to work, and then at the end of the month, the next month or some shit, they gave you a lump sum check, whatever. She said, when you, like, she didn't even need me no more after that. It was, I don't know what happened, because she was like, when they send you your money, just go. Like, don't give me no rent money, just leave. And then these are the same type of people who think, oh, later on, like, we was showing you tough love. We was helping you out, This shit be fucking crazy, yo. They'll sit high on the horse and look down on you, and it's like, bitch, don't you know that's not even really a horse? The fuck, yo? Like, literally, don't you know that's a rocking horse? The horse with the wheels that you gotta move up and back and forth yourself? You're not on no high horse. You're not on no stallion. You're not riding no pale white horse. You're not even on the green one. The pale green horse. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody know about that one though, right? And again, I don't like to sound like this, but it's like sometimes it's comical, and the way I'm expressing it is just like, again, the audacity. So if I sound any kind of way, I sound like this, or who she thinks she is, understand, this is the imprint. Like Jacob and Renesmee, this is the imprint. I'm not grudging, I'm not holding on to anything, but listen, I'm not, when I don't deal with people no more, I don't deal with them no more. If the relationship's over, the relationship's fucking over. The relationship will be over for a reason, and if it's over for a reason, that says to me, it's time for us to part ways. Because I'm not going to trust, whether I'm the platonic relationship or not. Especially, it goes for platonic relationships too, friendships with females, If you betray me, I'm not going to deal with you no more. I'm not going to treat you different because you're not a dude. If I'm dealing with a dude and he do some shit to betray me, guess what? Cheating ain't the greatest fucking thing, but it ain't the fucking worst thing either. You understand? I even had a dude, talk shit to me about all the females that are on the job, though. All the females that want to talk to him, and how I, kind of should be honored and privileged that he's fucking with me because, all these women want him, even some bitch with some wig, he was going on this bitch with her wig cocked to the side, it's this, that, and the third. Talked all types of shit about her with this wig. I was working in Throsnick, she was working in Castle Hill, right? He was a plasterer. And then lo and behold, a couple of weeks later, I'm standing in front of this building with these other workers, right? The chick that I used to work with, she's running her mouth. I'm in her compactor room doing service in her compactor, right? Because I'm helping her, right? And let me take the bags up because they had a jam up. So I was helping her. When it's a jam up, that's like 20 plus fucking bags, right? Yeah. You don't even know. So I'm thinking like, I'm cutting the bags. I'm cutting because I work fast. That's why I say, was I nice or was I nice? Because I work fast. When I picked up stamina, my movement I was moving fast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm moving fast. I'm bagging up these bags. Now I got 10 bags around me. Where the fuck's this bitch at? Where's she at? She was supposed to be going up the ramp, dropping them bags up at the drop site, and then coming back. No, she went to the front of her building and was having a whole conversation with other two skilled trade people, and then I think a carpenter, having a whole conversation, and they're talking about the dude I was fucking with at the time, talking about him, right? Him and the chick that he fucking with from Castle Hill, blah, 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 whatever. I'm looking at this bitch, and she's looking at me like, with this smirk. And then she asked, like, oh, who was that? Who you talking about? Who you talking about again? Because that's what she said. Who you talking about again? Who you talking about? And then when the dude said it, I looked at him. He didn't realize who I was, because if he did, I guarantee he would not have said that shit. And then I looked at her, and she just looked at me with this smirk on her face. I said, you know what? I ain't even mad at you. I ain't even mad at you. I'm not even mad at him. Not even mad. Escape route. Acknowledged. I went back to her basement and I said, listen, I don't want to talk to you no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you fucking with, and then it wasn't even so much that the cheating and shit, like, but you was talking shit about the bitch. And then you fucking with that bitch. Like, why you even said that? Why was you even trying to play her? So then after that, the next day, he comes over to the job, right? I'm in the lunchroom, right? For the blue moon, because I usually take the fucking naps at lunch, right? So I'm in the lunchroom chilling. The super who was there at the time called me on the radio. He's like, come to the front. I come to the front. I seen this nigga. Yo, you don't even understand. Felt like a movie. I'm like, nah, no. My head is shaking. No. I'm like, no. And like, they all looking at me, but I don't know if it's clicking or maybe I just wasn't as vocal as I thought I was being. Because I could have sworn my head was doing the bobble on some no shit. Right? And he acknowledged it because he was like, just come on. And then he grabbed my wrist. And then we sitting in his car having a conversation. He's talking about, oh, can we start over? Blah, blah, blah. Here we go with the I'm sorry. And it's just that you have to understand. And, the side bullshit. The bullshit. So I'm like, yesing him to death. Because I'm like, all right, I need to get the fuck away from this dude. I'm yesing him to death. Lieutenant Barnes come through. I thought the bitch was going like, because it's like, 11:45, lunch is almost over, not 11:45, 12 something, like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, lunch was almost over, basically. So, she comes over to the car, I'm thinking, okay, this bitch about to tell him I gotta go back to work because lunch is over. You know, how tough she is with me, she not gonna have it right now because this bitch gotta go to work, right? The super was standing there, everybody standing in the motherfucking parking lot. A lot of people was in that motherfucking parking lot. I even had somebody stand in front of me. Like, literally, I'm in the car, and I look out the car window, there's a person standing right there. He see me, I see him. So the fucking supervisor, she comes over, and she's telling him, oh, she got to go back to work, blah, 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 whatever. And he basically told her, I'm not done talking to her. Come back. She about faced her ass. I was like, what? This bitch for real? And then, mind you, she stands in front of the car door. So it's like when I'm trying to open the shit, I can't open the shit because she's standing there, right? So then another 15 minutes come back. Because now the super's standing out there and he's looking at his watch like, yo, nah, this we're going to wrap this up. She come back again. He said, I said I'm not done. She'll go back to work when I'm done talking to her. That's what the fuck he said, right? She said he gotta go, the super's there, and like basically he ain't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who there. I said what the fuck I said, right? So the bitch come back again. I said, you know what? Fuck this bullshit. Because he's in the midst of, can we work it out? And, let's start all over and blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, we can. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then here she come back again. Yeah, I damn near crushed her because there was a van. A van next to his car. She's in between the van and the doors. I damn near crushed her ass trying to get the fuck out that car. Like, she even was like, damn, Nicole, what the fuck? I damn near tried to crush her to get out the fucking car. And then I walked, around past to the other fucking chick, the chick that I used to work with, right? The one I looked at like a big sister type thing, right? She's like, what you doing? Where you going? Bitch, I'm going to fucking work. Like, come on now. I was like, you staying or you coming? And she stood there. I turned around. I faced myself and kept it moving. Like, fuck out of here, yo. And then when she came, I think between the two of them, they was looking for me, So I went and did the little duckaroo and shit. I went one way and then I doubled back and went somewhere else in my vicinity, in my work area, in one of my work buildings. But they saw me going to one building and I switched it up and went to another building. And then I switched it up even more. I didn't even go to the basement. I was up on the fucking roof. On the fucking roof. You at work and you scared and you on the fucking roof, right? Because you know damn well your ass don't need to be in no basement. Because you know the stories about the basement. You've heard the basement stories. How people, they want to fight you. They take it to the basement. That ain't got no problem. You want to handle your business. We can handle your business. We don't got to go to no basement though. It's kind of dangerous in there. But, if you corner me in a basement, then you listen. But those are the stories. So these are the things that I would think about. They're not going about to catch me no corner, nowhere, like, you know, because you just never know. I even had one time when I was scrubbing stairs, right? I got my walkie-talkie. I got my little phone playing the music, right? I got the walkie-talkie up just enough so that it's not blasting loud, but I can hear it. And then I got my phone up just enough that I can hear it, but it's not going to overpower the radio. For when they call me on the radio, I will still be able to hear it over the music, right? So I'm scrubbing the stairs. After I'm done, I get back or whatever, and now people is like, hey, you didn't hear, who's calling you on the radio? And I'm like, what the fuck you mean calling you on the radio? It's like, somebody was calling you on the radio. And didn't nobody recognize the voice that was calling me on the radio. Because everybody, we all talking on the radio. We all on the walkie-talkie. You know? They'll know your voice before they know your face. So when the person gets on there and they're calling me, everybody's, who the fuck is that? Because everybody that comes to the development, we know who the fuck it is. Whether it's, you know, if they working there, or if they just coming there to do work. And like, everybody know who the fuck. It's like a thing. Your station, this is where you go to do these things here, like a maintenance man. Or like a caretaker. I had assigned buildings. A maintenance man has assigned buildings, you know? Skilled trades. They might not have assigned buildings, but you know when you see them, oh, I see this guy, he comes here on the regular because this is his assigned area. This is a part of his assigned area to do work, you know? It's just people, you know, it's insulting when people think you're dumb. You know, it's annoying, you know? And it's like, they look at you and like, oh, she thinks she's so smart, and now we want to outsmart her and make her feel dumb. But it's like, really, at what cost? You know? Because what is it that I'm supposed, what am I supposed to do right now? Am I supposed to go take a loan or one-shot deal to pay back rent that I shouldn't owe? Why didn't HRA help with the pay the rent? 283, why didn't our HRA pay the rent? You know? That's not a red flag? Does that not kind of scream like they're not communicating with you, but they are communicating with someone? Right? So who are they communicating with? You're getting food stamps, right? And you're getting the cash assistance, but they're not paying the rent. Are you supposed to take that and pay the rent now? Because if you don't get 283, because before shit was saying 291, that was their calculations. And now it comes back and says 283. So, you know, what does that mean? You know? And then when they ask, it's like you can't go to work, fuck you, basically. That's what it gets. Maybe it's not like that, and there's so many procedures and things like. But actions speak louder than words. And when you're doing everything you're supposed to do and you're complying and you're still having the issue, that's like they say, if you go to work and you do your job, you should never have a problem. But it's not true, because you can go to work and be harassed, you know, when they don't like you. Or if they feel like, you know, they can target you for whatever reason, you know. Somebody else might not like you, you know. You might have turned somebody down. You might have not wanted to get back with a dude after, you know, he found out he was cheating on you, you know, and you was kind of looking for a way out anyway, you know. And that dude, like, you know, I yesed him to death, right? And then I made my escape, and then I just didn't call him no more. I ghosted him. Straight up fucking ghosted him. And after that, he started trashing my name, I guess, you know? Because I didn't call him. And he was expecting me to call him. I know he was, because that's how he is, you know? Either he tried to make you feel like you're the bad guy so you come calling back, or he played the sob story and so remorseful, and then now you pity him, and now you're back. You know? Dude has so much complaints, it's like, yo, then we don't need to be together, like, because I'm not for you. You know? And then when you tell someone, okay, I understand that we're not meshing well, and you're you, I'm me, I'm not going to change you, but I can't fuck with you because I don't want to be around you and how you are. And you know what happens after that? They start telling you about how their sisters is former DA attorneys, and how, you know, they're going to get you, and fuck, your check's going to be fucked up, and all this, that, and like, literally, I have fucking emails, too. I still got fucking emails to this day. Like, This shit ain't no fucking joke. So it's like, you know, I guess people would think, oh, it's been how many years? She ain't got no money. She can't afford this. She can't afford that. So she ain't gonna have shit. iPhone, I feel, is compromised. But you know what? It's a good damn phone. You know? All these smartphones are good damn phones. You know? All these smartphones are fucking smart. Smarter than a lot of people out here. That's crazy, right? Smarter than a lot of people. Right? Programmed by smart people as well, you know? So what does that say? Well, yeah, you know, I'm just, you know, I don't know. Trying to figure out why.